Welcome to Speaking in Spoons, the Chronically Ill podcast, with your host, Christina Brookman.
Hi, my name is Christina Brookman, and I am your host with Speaking in Spoons. And today we have a special guest, Roux, to talk about his journey as an amputee and with diabetes. We also have our lovely co-host, Lexi, um, and Nate. So, Roux, we want to thank you for being here today. Tell us your story. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Roux, and I am 48 years old.
49.
49. My bad. Well, I'm 49 years old, and my story is like this. I found out I had diabetes, being a diabetic, a couple years ago. They say I was borderline actually. So I'm just learning about it. That sometimes I have situations where I feel okay, then may have situations when my sugar is up or just not feeling comfortable. So I see my doctors about it. They got me on metformin for that situation, and I know as much as I try to read on it, I hear that it's very serious complications behind it, and people should check on it to make sure that that they're healthy and being healthy as usual.
How has
And
that affected you, like with the way you eat? And is that difficult to think about eating differently or and when
yeah,
you yeah,
but yeah,
sorry.
no, definitely the way I eat, I definitely gotta be mindful of the things that I eat, cause it can affect me in that way, probably make me tired, sleepy, um, and make me feel, slight uncomfortable. Um, yeah, kind of off, exactly. So
Off. Okay.
that's far as dealing with that situation.
I can imagine that would be scary to
Yeah,
um
very kind of. Yeah, to some people
yeah,
it will be like, because you don't know what's going on with your body. Like,
yeah.
it's, your body reacts differently. You know,
Can I ask what it
like
feels like?
could be. Say again.
Can I ask what it feels like whenever you're having and having issues?
Actually, for me, it makes me very tired a lot. So tired that um I'm very restless at times, and yes, and every time, like when I eat dinner or lunch, anything, I get immediately tired, you know. Um,
Do you sleep or is it just like not just, but is
Fatigue.
it like fatigue or does it
yeah,
knock you out?
yeah, it knocks me out basically.
Okay.
Say
And is
more.
it hard to think like when you're in those phases where you're getting sleepy?
It can be at sometimes, you know what I mean? Because
Okay.
you just fall right to sleep, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fatigue, like, and also with that, because they diagnosed me with sleep apnea as well.
Okay.
So I'm on an SPAP pop machine for that, CPAP machine for that. And sometimes that could be scary too, cause putting that machine on, and they say I gotta get used to it though, cause so much air blow in it, and it kind of like cut my breath, make it hard for me to breathe, you know.
I can
But
imagine that's startling, that
yeah,
sensation. Yeah.
exactly. So um, I just deal with it, and I call my doctors. They're trying to set me up with the right, I guess, mask or whatever, so
Okay.
it could be comfortable. It's comfortable on me, but I don't know if it's the constant. Yeah, cause it drives me out cotton mouth when I wake up, and I need to drink some water to rinse to make me feel more better. You know.
Do you,
Yeah.
with that, do you also have to do like saline nasal rinses because it dries everything out in your nose?
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes I use my ventilator,
Yeah.
menthol inhaler, and
Okay.
that what that
Okay.
do, that clears my nose out to where I could breathe much better, you know.
So you
Uh
said the diabetes you were diagnosed like 2 years ago. Have the doctor said if that's a result of like how your health has changed as an amputee, or are
yeah,
the two connected? Okay.
actually I don't think so. I think these things just came as I got
Okay.
older.
Gotcha.
But being an amputee, I lost my leg a couple years ago, you know what I'm saying? During a situation, accident or whatever, where it still felt like when they had to take my leg off, it still felt like my leg was still there, you know.
Wow.
They called them phantom pains.
Yeah. Phantom
So
limb.
exactly. So that that was scary at a point, you know, to where I how can I say it? I didn't know how to deal with it, you know.
Yeah.
What kind
um
is that? Is it like burning? Is it stabbing? Is it tingling whenever you have phantom limb?
um it could be more of like tingling, um stabbing, um it's definitely uncomfortable though, you
Okay.
So
know.
So
scary.
you get the
Oh,
pain with the phantom limb. Do you also have like the sensation that the limb is there?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
Okay.
could, like now, because it's been over, I think like 13, 14 years, yeah, 15 years since my amputee. So amputation. But at first when it first happened, the first 5 years of it, 5, 6 years, I feeling a lot of the phantom pains. Like I could wiggle my toes, um,
Wow.
Oh,
all
wow.
that. I can still move my leg, lift it up, you know. To the point now where I think the nerves probably done died off, and there's no feeling there no more. Where like I never had a leg. That's how it feels now.
Do you miss that
Yeah.
feeling? Or is it a relief to have that phantom
I mean,
pain gone?
it's it's it sounds like a relief, but the same token, I deal with nerve pains now, but it got a mind of its own. Actually,
Yeah.
it comes and goes. Like if it's like every 6 months, 5 to 6 months, it'll pop up, and it will
Mm.
hurt for a day or two. You know, um, I don't want to. If I think about going to the hospital for it at times, it'll probably stop hurting soon. I'm ready to go to the hospital, so I
Yeah.
just deal with it until it just stop on its own, and just go from there. Actually, yeah.
What is like, could you walk us through what like a day in the life of what it would be like for you to wake up now that you're an amputee? Like what kind of things do you have to do for yourself? Like I know like I've heard of pads and things like that. Do you use a crutches or do you use uh I'm blanking.
Yeah.
How do you get around?
Okay. Well, with me, it started when I first lost my leg. I started off in a wheelchair, actually.
Okay.
Um, so I stayed in a wheelchair for about a year or two until, going through physical therapy. Um, they taught me how to use the walker, but the walker, I couldn't really use the walker that well for the for the si- for the for the situation that the walker, when I try to walk, I couldn't walk. Actually, I had to jump
Yeah.
the walker. So
I can imagine that would be
they
really
said,
hard.
"No, this is not gonna work." So we went
Yeah.
to the crutches next. So the crutches, I got on the crutches just well, very well, and from the crutches, I I was great on the crutches, so I stayed on the crutches. And to the day now, I'm still on crutches. I got a prosthetic leg. Actually, this is my like second one because I had three surgeries since my amputation,
Wow.
and they had to cut my leg shorter because of the hospital. They messed my leg up actually, where they left staples in my leg,
Oh,
and
wow.
every time I took a shower, the I guess like the dirt, I had craters in my leg from the staples,
Oh, wow.
and it would get, I guess the dirt was get up in it, in the little holes in the craters. It was like a lot of craters from staples being left in. They had my leg got infected, and I had to go to the hospital. I went occasionally, probably about 3 to 4 times from getting infected. Probably every other 7, 8 months I get affected, and
Oh,
they'll
Wow.
blow up like a football, so big,
From the
and
infection.
from the infection, exactly. So,
Wow.
you know what kind of infection it was?
um,
Something?
it was, I guess, what's that? It's called some. It's
Staph?
not.
No.
It's not mercury.
Mer-
Bursa,
MRSA.
yeah,
Yeah.
something from like that. It got from,
oh, so
and and so they was they would cut it because my leg had came to like blister on the bottom of it,
Oh, I bet
and
that hurt.
yeah, they cut it open, and the pus come pouring out like,
Ooh.
and blood, and they squeeze it and they squeeze it, and then they had to like pack it with gall, clean it out,
I hope you were
and
knocked out. Were you awake for
ma'am.
that? Were you knocked out during that? Because I sure hope you
Oh,
were.
no, I wasn't
Oh,
knocked out when that happened. No, they every
oh,
time they probably did pain meds and before they done it and numbed it. So
okay.
that's how that
Yeah.
went from there.
glad.
I
I'm
can
glad.
imagine it's been frustrating for you to go through those experiences knowing they're at the fault of somebody else's, mistakes and incompetence. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, that's hard.
Do you
Yeah.
hold anger about that?
Say again.
Do you hold any anger about that?
I did once upon a time, but at the same token, I'm not that type of person where I would let anger govern who I am as a person. So I love people and I love, everyone. So I actually couldn't let it bother me
You just
during the
go.
situation of because of my leg, what was going on.
That's a really amazing attitude. It
That is
Exactly.
it really is. It's
a hard
incredible.
dude. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What was it? You said that like back when you lost your leg, I was wondering what was it like for you? Because I'm guessing were you part of the decision to remove your leg, or did you have surgery and wake up and found you no longer had part of your leg? And if so, what was that
yeah,
like?
that's how it was. I woke up and the, my leg was gone. Actually, not from my decision, from the hospital, because they
Right.
said that my leg, yeah, that they had to take it off because the blood clot or something,
Okay.
and if it had got to my heart, that it would have killed me. So
Hmm.
Oh,
What
yeah,
was it
so
like waking up with that such a drastic change in your life so quickly?
it wasn't great. I tell you that much. Like I couldn't believe my leg was gone. Like
Yeah.
I see the sheet when I pulled the sheet back, 'cause my leg was hurting really bad, and I was kind of like out of it too. Like I guess from the medications and stuff, and that when they anesthesia, yeah, when I pulled the sheet back, I see my leg was gone. So I like started screaming, like went off, and they
Mm.
had to come like hold me down because I was so upset at the time. And
How did you work through that?
um prayers, family, and just being thankful that I'm still here actually.
Yeah.
You know, so that kept me going and being the person who I am. So, um, God don't make no junk. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
so I wanted to ask a question, really quick. If so, I know that with the prosthetics, so you
Yeah,
guys have to wear socks and pads. How often do
yeah,
you have to adjust through the day because of the pain? Because I know prosthetics are extremely painful in their
yeah.
own stuff. And is that why you choose to go with crutches rather than a prosthetic?
Um, actually, the prosthetic, it was painful being that like when you put the sock on with it and being how tight the rubber of the socket when you squeeze it on your leg.
Yeah.
And it was around summertime, around when I was using it and walking with it, trying to walk with it. Actually, my leg was sweat. My stump was sweat inside of the shoe of the prosthetic, and it by sweating, it will cause my leg to raw up at the stump
Yeah.
Mm.
and be uncomfortable
Multiple.
and like when I took showers, like it stung real bad from
Oh, that
being
rubbing. Yeah.
being in the sock so long, and I just like I just don't like pain. Like I'm not a freak for pain, so I just took it off and stopped wearing it. They say I had to get used to it, but I wasn't comfortable on it actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first. Yeah, that was the first prosthetic actually.
Is your
Is it
second
second?
prosthetic
Cause this is
better?
my second
Jinx.
prosthetic now. Cause they had to do another surgery when I was um Jersey, when I was living in New Jersey. So, cause my leg got infected up there, and they had to do a revise on my leg and cut it down some. So my stump is actually shorter now than it was at first. So they told me before the surgery is not a guarantee that you will get a prosthetic if I do the surgery. But I was just at the point of, you know, cause MCV messed it up. I wanted them to, he said he could, the doctor told me he could fix it. So I told him if he could fix it, I'm okay with that. And I would, if I had to be on crutches, I'd be on crutches. But he was like, it's 50-50 that I would not be able to get a prosthetic. But
But you have been able to?
yeah. So
No, prosthetics are hard to come by when
Yeah.
with insurance companies, and they're very expensive. So I'm
it's
very
very
glad.
exactly. Yes, they are. So no, God's grace, I was able to get a prosthetic now. Like I have a prosthetic. Um, yeah, I just had to set up PT for it, and I guess from me feeling how the first one felt and just not ready for it. I'm just so used to my crutches now. Like I'm
I'm
just
sure it's,
comfortable. Like I'm
yeah,
just so
it's scary to
comfortable.
take that change, that leap to,
Exact
particularly
that
based on the
too.
last experience. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I drive now, so being I drive, I think it will be awkward for me having a leg on to try to drive as well. Um,
Uh,
so that's that's um
how would you say that, um, what has been your greatest challenge during all of this, do you think?
okay. My greatest challenge, I would say, my greatest challenge would be um say my greatest challenge will be meeting my girlfriend. Um and just, trying to do something different in life, because I'm trying to actually get my CDLs for driving trucks.
Oh, cool.
So I'm in the process of that. I just got my driver's license back, so I'm happy for that. Um, got my fines paid off, so I'm happy for that. And yeah, just continue a normal life, just doing what I love to do most. If it's whoever I can help, um, I'm up for it. Um, I'm not a big talker, but I
With
would talk. I would try to, if it comes to helping someone, I would try to help though.
It sounds like you have a big heart. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I do. I definitely do.
You
Um,
mentioned your girlfriend. we actually had an episode on relationships and how difficult that can be when you have a disability. How has
Yeah.
becoming disabled affected your relationships with your family, your friends, and then romantically?
It haven't really affected like that. 'Cause people still love me for who I am. Um, I'm still able to get around great. Um, say, I think it's definitely okay. It's an eye opener though for people,
Yeah.
family too. You know, because some things that they didn't do, used to do, now they do. Far as helping me in a situation. But I just sometimes I don't want people just to look at me like handicapped sometimes.
Yeah.
I I still like want to be normal like other people. Look
Yeah.
at far as in a handicap situation. Um and if if I can help somebody, you know, I just want to have that positive attitude attitude and good vibes, like, you know, just, you know,
I think that's
because
what's brought you so far. Like you just
exactly,
had an incredible journey and
as definitely a
yeah,
credible journey.
yeah. What advice would you give to somebody um just starting that journey, you know?
To never give up. Um, Always have faith in what you believe in. Do what you believe in. Um, as I can't get that word I'm looking for. Just be yourself, you know, and you know, let God lead you to where you need to be. Um, they got all types of places that could help people in situations. They got all types of help out there. Far as you got, you know, and people who been suicidal or you know, depressed or whatever. Sometimes you can't just let it, you know, I come across a lot of people who either depressed or feel a certain type of way. Um, you gotta realize people love you, you know, and love yourself as well. Um, don't let nobody, you know, not tell you something that you really truly believe in. You know, if that's what you want to do with your life or however it may be, um, do it. Cause you'd be surprised what can happen, you know,
Yeah.
when you do what you wanted to do, like designing clothes or doing whatever that you want to do. You know, everybody have, you know, dreams.
Yeah,
The
I love that because like you said, there's so many resources out there.
resources, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the word
Yeah.
I was looking for. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you
So
hit the nail on the head. Like sometimes we get so caught up in that moment of despair. We
yeah,
don't realize
exactly.
there's people out there for us, you know.
Yeah,
It's hard.
exactly. Yes,
But
And so what
yes,
Straus is
ma'am.
what
about
what
is
advice would you give to medical professionals, like the medical community, in dealing with a patient who's going through an amputation?
Um, I would tell them to listen to the patient. Um, to not think that the patient um is not how can I say it?
You're talking about when people tell you that it's in your head, like that it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Like this not what's going on because
Yeah.
they don't know it's the patient's body, you know.
Yes.
Um, so They did. I would just say they need to listen to the patient actually,
Great.
and go from there.
Well, thank you, LaRousse. This has been incredible. We really appreciate you being on with us today. And
No problem.
Nate and Lexi, did you have any further questions? Any final thoughts?
So I want back to the prosthetic. Whenever
Yeah.
you do the socks, like have you tried double socks or the pads? Does that help with?
Yeah, I tried the sock, the double sock, and actually the sock when your legs sweat, actually when you sweat, it would twist, the leg would twist around. The prosthetic, it would twist around but after you done had it on for a while, a couple of hours, 4 or 5 hours,
Okay.
if I don't care how
You have to
grounded and
test it
tight
for
you
that.
got it on, it's still gonna like slip and slide, like
Yeah.
but I went through those situations as well, but like I said, the times when actually wearing it a lot was during the summertime. Wintertime never really wore it during the winter, so I wouldn't be able to tell a person actually, because it may work great during the winter,
Winter and colder weather.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So every time I had it, it was summertime.
And
Yep.
do you have any final thoughts or questions, things you want to say before we leave today?
I would just like to say, it's been a great meeting with y'all. I like what y'all doing. And keep doing what you're doing to make people mindful of what's going on with people out here in the world. And I just bless y'all with the success of what y'all doing to keep people happy, actually. And
Thank
I
you.
leave it with that.
Thank you.
And
That
we
means a
we
lot.
wish you all kinds of like health
Yeah.
and happiness and joy and love.
Thank you
too,
so
man.
much. Thank you so
Can't wait
much.
to
I
hear when you
feel
get
that.
your license. So
Yeah.
you can drive trucks. That'll be pretty cool.
Exactly. I pray and hopefully if I get it, we can have a segment on that.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll
Yep.
follow up with you in the truck. That would be awesome.
Exactly.
LaRousse on the road.
Exactly. I'm trying to
Okay.
say.
Thanks guys for watching, and stay tuned. We're gonna have a little follow up with the hosts.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Hey, so welcome.
And we're back. This is Christina Brookman, your host for Speaking in Spoons, with the lovely co-host Lexi and Nate. We just interviewed LaRousse about his journey as an amputee and with diabetes. What'd you guys think? Sorry, my cats are destroying my room.
I think his attitude on everything is great, considering how hard it is to be an amputee. I dated a guy that was an amputee and that had an amputee leg. He was, he was so much more than an amputee. That wasn't all he was. But
yeah,
he was amazing. Person, and it was a daily struggle. That struggle was very hard for him.
Yeah.
I mean, those sores can be really, really nasty looking. So I can't even imagine how they feel.
Yeah, he does have an incredible attitude. Like, I mean, we all know what pain is like and the journey is like, and like, Lexi talking about your ex who's gone through what LaRousse has gone through. And I really think it's amazing how positive he is. and like how much love he shows for other people and himself. And I think that's important. Like I have spent time with him myself, and you wouldn't even know he's missing part of a leg, like because he's like, just so independent on his crutches. Like he's gotten so used to it. Like he's like trying to unload stuff from the car for me and stuff. And I'm like, wow, he amazes me. And that's why I was like, we've got to get his story on, because I think he has a lot to say and a lot to share, and to get to that place of positivity. And not have that anger, like despite all of the hurt he has been through with the medical community messing up surgeries and causing further harm to him after the original experience. Like that's hard to not hold on to anger, and he's let it go.
Yeah.
And that's but I think in a way you have to let it go in order to live, because if you live in that dark space, like it's like they're continuing to hurt you. Nate, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I was amazed by his attitude, and I know for me, I didn't come out of the gate with a good attitude. So I want to know if he always had that sort of positive outlook, or that took some time to garner that kind of thing. Because I don't know, for me, it took a lot of inward work
Yeah.
in order to feel good about where I was. And I didn't lose a limb. So that's like, I feel like that's even harder.
Yeah. But we'll have to ask him on the road with Roux. I'm excited about that now. I know he's gonna get that, because he's been working hard. He got, like he said, he got his license, he's got the car, he's so and I think that would be incredibly empowering for him too. Which will be exciting to hear about. Like there's so much independence you lose when you can't drive anymore, that people take for granted. And when all of us know, when you're not able to drive and just like, go, hey, I want to get out of the house and do this thing, like you can't. And I think getting that back has been so empowering to him. And then now to turn that into a livelihood and, provide for himself and, be normal. Like he said, that's what we all want. We just want to be normal,
Well,
and like, what is normal? I don't know. Yeah.
you can never get back to it after you're going through it. I mean, everybody.
We're just always evolving,
It changes you being disabled. I don't know if you can ever go back to the before, because you're not the same person anymore. I mean, it's the time for everybody, but I just feel like getting this, I just felt like it broke me in a lot of ways. The beliefs I had shattered, and it took a while to put them back together.
To rebuild, yeah. But now you're like you said, you're a different person. But I guess what we all want is normal things, I guess, like the job, the family, the loved ones, like the house.
No, thank you.
You don't want any of that
Japanese golden pottery.
What?
The Japanese golden pottery. We're just all that Japanese golden pottery.
Yeah, I forget what that's called. But
I can't remember the name.
Gold.
But whenever you just pat yourself back up together again with some gold, because you're shiny.
Yes, I love that. I will have to include an image of that, because gold is so highly prized, and so like you're that pottery.
Yeah, that's
everybody's that pottery. That inside is just
totally.
Like,
some of us just have a few more cracks.
Some of ours has turned to powder. Let's just be real.
But it's mixed with gold, Lexi. It's mixed with gold.
I just hit myself on the head laughing with my water bottle. laughing at you.
God,
Okay.
it has been a couple of days. Like, for those that are watching, yesterday was Friday the 13th, and my neighbors have been chainsawing a tree on Friday the 13th since like 8 a.m. Who does that? Like, who risks sawing a tree on Friday the 13th?
Maybe they
Yeah,
switched places, switched bodies with an infant, and so a 6-year-old was actually operating that equipment, and that's why he was so gung ho about the trees.
oh, it sounded like it. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And
It
then
was
there was like there was somebody screamed, and like I was like, did someone die? And there was like no sound for like 30 minutes, and part of me was happy, and then I felt really bad.
You know what that probably was? Their chainsaw chain breaking or coming off.
They
feel
were
like-
probably taking a lunch break, you know, because then
Well,
they
if they
came back,
screamed,
and I was like,
scream every time my
"No."
chainsaw chain breaks, I scream.
Lexi, I don't want to think of you with a chainsaw. That's just
Not now, before I got sick.
and rein it in because
that
we're
would still scare me. Oh, Nate's keeping us on track. Sorry. Thank you,
we-
Nate.
this all gonna get
We
cut.
haven't seen each other in a while, so
Okay,
we're
We
well,
getting
haven't talked
chatty.
in
Save it for when the
days.
ups, and we can friends.
Any final thoughts? What would you like to see on Roux on the road, like for the future when we talk to him? I
Ooh.
love that question of like, how long did it take you to get to that place? What else?
Yeah, I would
I
love.
think it would be cool. Oh, sorry.
Well, I would love to hear stories of him on the road. I think he'll as a trucker. I feel like he'll come across a lot of interesting stories, especially as a crippled trucker. I feel like that's a unique perspective on trucking that I think would be
Yeah.
very.
I think it would be cool to have him as a co-host and have him like do little if you interview other truckers that have disabilities.
Oh, this
We
is
have
LaRoe.
specials. Like our weatherman, but like our roadman.
He's
I
our
love that
roadman.
idea. LaRoux on the road.
He's our traveler. We're going to our local traveler.
Yeah.
Going live to our local traveler, LaRoux.
LaRoux on the road. Yeah, very cool. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. We're excited. This was our first a new thing we're doing, personal kind of personal stories with disability. And LaRoux was lovely enough to be our first guest, and we have so many wonderful stories coming up for you guys, so stay tuned, and happy spoons.
Happy spoons.
Spoons. If you want to contact us, please send a DM or an email to speakingatspoons@gmail.com with any stories you have, or if you'd like to interview with us on any of our upcoming topics. Thank you for listening to Speaking in Spoons, and have a great day.